in my hair and these nails from House of Milan on my fingers, I feel like a real... Hey! Hi! It's me, Wilma Fingerdoo, with the Fingerdoo review of RuPaul's Drag Race UK versus the World Season 1, Episode 3. And before we get started, well, I got some Tipperdoos to thank. First of all, Mark Atha, thanks, doll. You're a blessing, and I love your messages on the tubes. I also want to welcome Becky Fletcher to the Queen tier of the Fingerdoo family on Patreon, and welcome back Stephanie Santwana Parp. I miss you, Stephanie. It's been too long, and I hope I said your name a little better than the last time I did. I'd also like to welcome Miranda and Zachary. Hey, Zachary, it's your Auntie Wilma to the Princess tier on my Patreon page full of the Fingerdoo family. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, well, I've got a link to my Patreon page down below. We at the Fingerdoo family get together twice a month on Patreon for a live chat via Zoom. We also have, my weekly watcha. We've got some while I'm getting ready videos, things like that. It's very simple, very cash, very fab. If you'd like to join us there or find out some more information, check out the link down below, seriously. Of course, I also want to thank House of Milan 2021 on Instagram for this week's fabulous nails. Aren't they gorge? I've been spoiled. They sent me 4 pair a little while back, and I haven't worn any of them, so I'm kind of catching up on myself. If you'd like to check out House of Milan, I got a link to their Instagram page down below. But if you're on Instagram, it's just the House of Milan 2021. Seriously, check them out. I also have some packages. I got a couple of packages off of my Amazon wish list, and this first one is Chris Jane's fabulous, the e.l.f. putty primer. e.l.f., for those of you out there who have never experienced e.l.f., if you're getting into drag or you are exploring makeup and all that it has to offer, as far as the basics, pressed powders, setting sprays, primers, e.l.f. is the best for all of that, especially when you're starting out, before you start to realize what it is that you like. And it's a great way to test stuff out, because some people don't like everything, and that's totally fine. This is from Caitlin Eisenhuth. Hey, Caitlin. Thank you for bringing me such joy each week. I look forward to every video. Oh, thank you, Caitlin. And Caitlin sent me some putty primer as well, and I guess either the message is I need to put more on, or they were psychic and knew I was running out. So thank you both so much, Chris and Caitlin. And so, with that said, Jorge, drink me. Oh, iced coffee. It's freezing out. What, are you kidding me? Not a lot of coffee in that, I'll tell you what. Yummy. Thank you, Jorge. Okay, let's get to it. So this week kicked off with the Queen saying cheerio to Cheryl, bless her. Blue was truly sorry to see her go, but still agreed that her runway was the worst. Agreed. Of course she agreed. There was no disagree. It was the worst. I'm so serious. Under the word worst in the dictionary, there's an example that says, as in, that dress Cheryl Hole made on Drag Race UK versus the World was the worst. Even Vicky Sue Robinson couldn't turn that beat around. Let me just say there. Juju wasted no time in thanking JJ for saving her. So she should, no offense. All I can say is, she better sparkle, Neely. Seriously. Jimbo was obviously nervous to show whose lipstick she had because she made some big show to look for it in her décolleté. She's always got snacks in her bra, that one. Find out where she gets her bras. Finally, Jimbo revealed that she had Juju's name. Personally, I thought that decision was fair. No offense to Juju, but I was feeling that Cheryl was bringing more to the show. But if there's one thing Jimbo knows, it's how to read a room. And she could tell that they weren't impressed that she'd picked Juju. So she blew it off jokingly as a mistake. Then she took a long and winding road to the I wanted to get rid of the competition off-ramp that, well, nobody seemed to believe, bless. Personally, it looked to me like Jimbo didn't want to hurt Juju's feelings by wanting to keep Cheryl, so she went with that whole "you're so good, the only way I can beat you is to kick you out for now" route. I don't know. Either Jimbo is way smarter and playing dumb, or she's just dumb. Of course, Juju was cut to the quick. She realized that Jimbo's promises to her were Liza Minnelli. Adding insult to injury, Jimbo then added she'd made that promise with everybody. Well, Juju was shocked. She also learned the hard way that she can't trust Jimbo. Just a quick poll. Does anyone think Jimbo is as oblivious to her repercussions of her actions as she's appearing to be? I mean, does anyone believe she's that vapid? No? Me either. Jimbo's way too smart to play stupid. Well, convincingly anyway, I'm just saying. She was either covering her butt or, more to the point, covering the fact that she and Bag of Chips had a secret alliance. Oh, gasp! As those queens were de-dragging, it was revealed that Jimbo and Bagga were in cahoots. What are they calling themselves anyway? Jimbag, Barbo. I just hope that Jimbo doesn't try to turn the beat around on Bagga too, because Bagga'd cut ya. I'm just saying. The next day in the workroom, the queens finally congratulated JJ for her first win and her repeater badge. Here's to Miss Janae. Seriously, it's another reason for Jimbo to be worried. I'm just saying. Most probably prompted by production, Blue asked Juju if she'd, in the words of Michelle Visage, shown up yet. Well, Juju said nothing kicks your butt into gear like a read from Michelle, so I think that was a yes. I don't know. I'm with Pangina. I'm worried for Juju. Just saying. On a new subject, the mystery around Mo's pre-season name change was brought to light. Mo wanted to embrace her non-gender drag and a Mo non-gender name. Just see what I did there. And then the queens were slapped back to the moment by Ru's video message. It was peppered with musical references, so everyone was expecting the main challenge to be a Rusical. Yay! But before they could get too excited, there was Ru with this week's mini challenge. Jimbo wasn't paying attention. She seemed to be all caught up in Ru's seahorse pin. Jimbo even cooed seahorse, but all I heard was nobody over 30 wears a brooch. Which, if you ask me, put her in the perfect headspace because of this week's mini challenge. The library was open! Yes, reading is what? Fundamental. First up was Janie Jacquet. I'll say this. She got better as she went along, but it sounded like she was trying to crack walnuts with her butt while she was talking. No, me? Just me? Pangina started off by saying the library is open in Thai and then did a pretty good job reading Blue and Jimbo. Jimbo started off by trying to read Ru's seahorse pin. I didn't like that, and well, neither did Ru, who put Jimbo in her place by being way funnier than her. Here's to RuPaul. You bring it to the runway. As for Jimbo's reads, well, he wasn't the worst. Speaking of the worst, Bagga is definitely up for that title. But to be honest, I think that poor Mo took that title this week. Bless. Blue had it right. Tumbleweeds. Thank goodness Juju was next. I don't think there's a reading challenge this queen hasn't won, and something told me this would be no different. She gave it to everyone. Pangina, JJ, Bagga, no one was safe. Blue was next, and, well, I don't know what to say. I thought her, if I wanted to read something Dutch, I'd have watched your season read to JJ, was hilarious, but I don't think anyone else got it. Although, I think JJ was propositioned by Blue, right in front of Ru. But Blue didn't care. Then she read Juju, Jimbo, and Bagga to filth, which finally had Ru asking her, what has the show done to you? Well, it's made her a star, darling. The unsurprising winner of this challenge was Jujubee. Now she can only pull it together to win a maxi challenge. And then it was revealed that this week's maxi challenge was going to be, hooray, a Rusical. Did anyone else feel badly for Cheryl missing another Rusical? Just me? This season's Rusical was West End Wendy's The Comeback, which was a reality show musical hybrid of iconic musical roles and their stars trying for a comeback. The roles in question Little Orphan Fanny, an aging former child star, Tracy Fatberg, a former dance star of the 60s with a hairspray addiction, Lally Bowles, which was, well, let's just face it, Liza Minnelli and Cabaret. There was an immediate buzz among the queens when that was announced because, well, apparently Bag is a huge Liza fan, or does Liza enter? I wasn't quite sure what was going on, but Liza was key. The rest of the characters were Mariah Gone Trappy, which was a pornier version of solving a problem like Maria, if you ask me. My fave one was Dr. Spankenspurter, which was obviously a nod to the Rocky Horror Picture Show. And surprisingly, Meryl Streep, I'm assuming from Mamma Mia, no clever hiding there, but that was a movie, right? It wasn't an actual musical. I mean, it was a musical, but she wasn't in it. Was she? That would have been a pisser, eh? And finally, Dodo the dog, an obvious ode to Dorothy's dog, Toto, bless. Because Juju won the mini challenge, she got to assign the roles. Well, and that job got vivid quick, eh? After listening to the Rusical, the queens thought the characters were all pretty good. Juju wanted to be fair and let the queens pick their own roles, which is always death. But since Juju won the mini challenge, she picked first, and she picked Liza Minnelli. Much to Bagga's chagrin. Much to Bagga's chagrin. Now, in Bagga's defense, she wasn't the only queen who wanted Liza Minnelli, but she was the only queen without a backup. To be honest, I also don't think Mo's impromptu suggestion of an audition for Bagga helped either, because it made me ask, is Bagga known for her Liza or for doing Liza? Because there's a difference, I'm just going to say. So, when the casting was done, Pangina got Annie, Blue got The Sound of Music, Mo got the Rocky Horror, Jimbo got Toto, JJ got Meryl, and because Juju took Liza for herself, Bagga got Tracy Fatberg, the hairspray role, by default. Cue Bagga's gob for the rest of this episode. Jesus, if it weren't a competition, I would have given Bagga Liza just to shut her up, but I think Juju was playing it right by letting it bother Bagga enough to keep her head out of the game. Here's to Juju. Maybe she has arrived. As for Bagga, Team Jim Bag had a conflab on the sofa, but try as she might, Jimbo couldn't keep Bagga from plotting her revenge. It looked like Bagga wasn't going to let go of the fact that she was the only one who didn't get to play the part she wanted. Personally, I didn't have the strength to put up with her again. Not after last week's sewing moan. Seriously. Juju's attitude was, well, she should have won the mini challenge if she wanted to pick first. Well said, Juju. And then it was on to choreography with the super adorable Johannes Radabe, who put them through their paces. Pangina's aging Little Orphan Fanny was first, and can I just ask, how old did she think Orphan Fanny was? I mean, Andrea McArdle, who played Little Orphan Annie originally on Broadway, is only 57. And there's Pangina got Grandma Moses up there bucking and jiving. Seriously, other than that, Pangina seemed to keep up with Johannes, who even had her tap dancing. Seriously. Fatberg was next, and she still had a gob on her. But, truth be told, watching Bagga stagger through the choreo, I don't think she would have done a better job as Liza. And she still needed a minute to catch her breath. Say it. Juju got better as she went along. She definitely took direction well. In fact, she made it clear that she would have had no trouble taking anything from Johannes, including whatever it was he was laying down. Personally, I'll take some bad Juju any day of the week if it means she starts impressing us in this competition. Seriously. Keep her on the prize, Juju. Blue was next, and to be honest, I was shocked that Juju called Blue the horny one after what she just shared with Johannes in front of everybody. But then, Blue started spanking herself and throwing her legs in the air, and, well, I could see what she meant. Hell, a heat-seeking missile could see what she meant. Mo took to her choreography like a queen to the stage, but when Johannes asked her if she had any tricks in her bag, well, I was worried, mostly because I remember that time Mo tried to do a cartwheel during the lip sync and almost took everybody out. With those legs akimbo, I'm so serious, which I remember specifically because Legs Akimbo was the name of my Fringe musical. Clearly, this was still a sore spot with Mo too, but she surprised everyone by actually doing a cartwheel and, well, then the splits, which she immediately regretted due to lack of stretching. Lord knows I felt that. JJ was a little disappointed to see that her part didn't have as much dancing as she would have liked, and for a moment or two it looked like she was going to get lippy, but thankfully, she seemed to get over it. Good for JJ. Jimbo was last, and before she even got to center stage, she was telling Johannes, well, that she had a stiff neck and couldn't move too much. No one believed her, especially Johannes, if I'm being honest. He seemed to be very sarcastic where Jimbo and the choreography were concerned. Just saying, when you believe somebody, you're not usually sarcastic. And then it was elimination day. Everybody seemed to have gotten over themselves. Well, a little anyway. Baga seemed less pissy. Jimbo's neck was fine, although she had thought about saying it still hurt until showtime, which made everyone believe that, well, she was lying about her neck in the first place. I mean, she wasn't helping, I'm just saying. As the queens got ready, Baga clearly wasn't over anything. Bless her. And then it was time for the runway. Rue looked gorgeous in a silver Tron cut velvet gown. Michelle was perfect in pigtails, while Graham Norton looked extra marvelous in maroon. And, well, joining them on the judges' panel, one of the stars of Bridgerton, actor Jonathan Bailey. First up, West End Wendy's, the comeback. I'm just going to start off by saying I didn't like this Rusical. You know, I was feeling badly that Cheryl missed yet another Rusical, but after seeing this one, I don't think she missed anything, seriously. First of all, I'm surprised it was a lip-sync Rusical, especially for Drag Race UK. I wish the queens had all had to sing. Secondly, there was only one standout for me, and that was Janie Jacquet as Meryl Streep. I know, I'm surprised I even said it. She was brilliant. She was subtle, understated, in a way only Meryl Streep could be. Seriously, she pressed the hell out of me. I'm still shocked. As for the rest, meh. Pangina played an aging former child star the way you'd expect her to. Bagas Fatberg didn't suffer her bad mood, but, well, she didn't sparkle that much either. Juju's Liza was more like her Eartha Kitt from All Stars 5, if you ask me. She didn't sparkle, mama. It must have killed Baga to watch that, I'm just saying. Blue's slutty trap was, well, typecasting at its best. Although she may have come off a little more frantic than horny, I thought Blue did okay. I think Mo's Frankenspurter was fabulous, badly executed cartwheel and all. But then, I knew she would be. Seriously. Jimbo, the dog-faced boy, Dodo, wasn't bad either. It just wasn't best in show, if you know what I mean. And then it was runway time. Category is ... Jimbo knocked my socks off with this look. It was beyond high fashion. It was actually art. I would wear that raincoat. I thought it was stunning. Fingerdoo for Jimbo. Mark it down. Gigi's inflatable bodice notwithstanding. What the hell was up with that wig? She's killing me with this stuff. Seriously. Finger don't, Juju. Finger don't. I'm not sure if I loved Blue's runway. It was interesting. She looked gorgeous, and I gave her a Fingerdoo, but I wish the faces on her sleeves had been anywhere else. I don't know. Literally, what can I say? They distracted me on her wrists. Just gonna say. I have no problem whatsoever in giving Janie Jacquet a Fingerdoo. She looked stunning. I mean, the hat alone, come on. Mo's ode to Sully from Monsters, Inc. was gorgeous. Although, I wish they'd done something different with that wig. But I love this look, so I gave them a Fingerdoo. Seriously. Pangina's IKEA lampshade stole the show. This polka dot rainbow fantasy was more than deserving of a Fingerdoo. Well done, Pangina. Seriously. Baga's runway was borrowed from the Jujubee collection, if you ask me. Very boring, but I didn't hate it, so I gave her a Fingerdoo. But still, come on. And then it was time for the judges' critiques, and it was deja vu all over again as Blue Hydrangea and Bag of Chips were safe. Again! As they figured off to the back of the stage, Baga couldn't believe it. Juju looked worried. Jimbo was up first, and right out of the gate, Michelle said her performance in the Rusical didn't go anywhere. Gray made a good point. Because it was Jimbo, he was expecting more. Me too, if I'm honest. Ru agreed, but was more than impressed with her runway. Seriously. Juju was next, and as I was expecting, the judges thought her Liza fell short. Michelle kept waiting for those big Liza moments and, well, poses, which never came. As for Juju's runway, well, why kick a dog while she's down? Because the upper half was inflatable, Jonathan thought Juju looked like she belonged at a toddler's pool party. Even Ru wanted to know what was going on with Juju not meeting their expectations. Well, I'm glad someone asked her. Nobody seemed to have a negative thing to say about JJ's performance or her runway. Well, Jonathan would have liked a lower neckline, pig, and Graham might have preferred a different skirt silhouette, but it's good to have dreams. Seriously. Mo was another fave, although her little slip-up didn't go unnoticed, mostly because she drew attention to it, as Michelle pointed out. But all the judges agreed that that's a fixable issue. Seriously. Finally, it was Pangina's turn, and it was clear by the judges' critiques that she was another fave of the night, even with Jonathan pointing out that she was limping on the wrong leg during the performance. As for her runway, everyone was gagged. It really was a good night to be Pangina. Seriously, here's to her. Well done. Then it was time for Ru to announce the top two queens. I don't think anyone was surprised that it was Janie, Jacquet, and Pangina. As for who was in the bottom, once again, it was Juju. But, surprise, surprise, it was also Jimbo. Back in the Untucked lounge, the wheels had clearly turned. Pangina and JJ were very pleased, as you can imagine, but Baga was still going on and on about not getting the roles she wanted. Keep in mind, Baga is safe. I have to say, I'm very proud that Pangina called Baga out on her foul mood as she tried to cover Juju for her negative critiques, bless her. Jimbo was bummed. She seemed to be caught up in the idea that this was a choreography challenge. JJ was right when she said it was a Rusical challenge, but Jimbo couldn't let it go. She also couldn't let go of the idea that, based on how she'd been doing so far, that RuPaul hadn't made her safe. I was also confused when she added overcome an injury to the list. Took me a moment to realize she meant that pinched neck muscle she had yesterday for half a minute. As for Bagbo, Baga didn't want to see Jimbo in the bottom, but she couldn't deny the reasoning that put her there. Then the queens deliberated. Jimbo gave Pangina a litany of reasons that she should stay in the competition, but none of them had anything to do with why she should win this challenge. Jimbo also pointed out that this was Juju's second time in the bottom, and then she begged for a little bit. I think she covered all the bases. As for Juju, she told JJ that she wished that she could hit the marks the judges wanted her to. JJ just bluntly asked her if she'd lost her fight. Juju assured JJ she hadn't and proved it by playing her ace in the hole. Juju pointed out that when Jimbo was in the top, she picked both their lipsticks to go home. Certainly gave something for JJ to think about, just saying. Good for Juju. Back on the sofas, Baga seemed to be doing damage control by telling Blue and Mo that Jimbo had been in the top twice and, well, Juju had been in the bottom twice. But as far as Mo was concerned, she didn't trust Jimbo. Neither, so it seemed, could Blue. Could this be the mood for the whole room? Meanwhile, Juju, in that cheap wig and blow-up runway, sat in front of Pangina and said, the fight will always be in her. Based on this look, no offense, it's a losing battle. Pangina asked her why she should stay. Juju's answer? She went above and beyond. Of what or who, I'll never know. JJ didn't seem to be very interested in hearing what Jimbo had to say about staying. What she wanted to know from Jimbo was why she had lied to both her and Juju by saying that she would have an alliance with the two of them. Well, Jimbo's answer was that she just assumed that everyone would ask to have an alliance. JJ seemed unimpressed, especially since she had never asked Jimbo for an alliance, nor had she asked Juju last week. That's when Jimbo jumped straight to begging. She begged JJ not to kick her out, and JJ did nothing to assure Jimbo that she was safe. Just how you play the game. When the queens returned to the main stage, they had to lip sync to the Venga Boys' We Like to Party. I thought both queens did very well. I loved what JJ was wearing, and her 80s choreography was fabulous. I mean, I'm assuming that it's probably the original choreography to the video. I also liked what Pangina was putting down, more when she got rid of her black blazer. But once she did, well, she ate up that stage, I'm just going to say. When the music ended, I thought Ru was going to pick JJ, but no. Pangina Heels was the winner of the lip sync. And whose lipstick did she have? Shockingly, she had Jimbo's. That makes Pangina single-handedly the reason Canada is no longer in the race. What crust! We're Canada. Everybody loves us. As for the rest of the queens, they were gagged. Least of all Jimbo, who had a very cathartic and heartfelt moment as he thanked Ru and the team before he left the runway. Here's to Jimbo, I'm so serious. Pangina clearly wanted to get rid of a threat over going by the scoreboard. Well, I mean, I guess we'll have to wait until next week to find out for sure. I will say this, Jimbo had the best exit line of Drag Race history with that classic Margaret Hamilton line from The Wizard of Oz, "I'll get you and your little dog too." Especially with the line, I was talking about you, Michelle. It was hilarious. Here's to Jimbo. So, what do you think? Clearly, this was a controversial elimination. The interwebs will be abuzz, but do you think Pangina made a smart move getting a heavy hitter out of the way? Should Jimbo have even been in the bottom two in the first place? And how do you justify a queen being in the bottom twice as your choice to save over a queen who's been in the top twice? Will Pangina's choice make it easier for someone else to do the same to her if the chances come up? Is this Juju's secret plan to win it all? Well, we're just going to have to tune into RuPaul's Drag Race UK versus the world next week to see how it all goes down. And when you're done, you come on back and you see me so you and I can compare notes. Now, speaking of notes, let me know what you thought about this week's episode in the comments section down below. While you're down there, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it and subscribe to my channel if you haven't. And until next week, miss me! Seriously, Jorge, look at that. 3 weeks in a row with House of Milan nails and nobody got hurt. Oh, poor Pangina. It's like she wants Canada not to like her or something. I seriously hope she doesn't get any negative reaction online. I mean, let's all face it, she's going to get some. But if people were upset that she kicked Lemon off, they're going to lose their mind that she kicked Jimbo off. Personally, and I say this as a Canadian who is now not in the race for the crown for UK versus the world, I still thought that was a ballsy choice. It made for some great TV. Because I think we all kind of sat there and thought, okay, Juju's going finally. Finally, Juju's going. And then she wasn't. And I think Pangina, I think that she, as well as Mo and even Blue, it sounds like the majority of those queens don't trust Jimbo anymore. And you know, that's the only thing you can do wrong on an all-stars voting type situation is land in the bottom. If you're safe or better, you're never leaving. And unfortunately, Jimbo just, I don't know, she got called for that performance. I don't know if it was the worst performance, though. I have to say, I didn't love Pangina's performance. It was a little almost grotesque. I couldn't watch it because she just almost looked like a zombie coming out of the mud. She had too much makeup on, too much, but it's not Wilma Fingerdoo's Drag Race, is it? Yet.